Brother Dhoruba, you've been very vocal about our need to organize a united front. Could you, for those who do not know what that is and what you mean by that, what is a united front?
Well, a united front, historically and contemporarily, is an alliance of different groups and organizations, maybe even movements that have a common enemy, that have a common uh, tactical and strategic interests and goals, and they come together in order to amplify each other's strengths, in order to amplify each other's organizational projects and efforts and platforms. So, for instance, if you have an organization that's organizing homeless people, and it's a small organization, it doesn't take corporate donations. It raises its own money by doing various things in the community, and so it's a small operation, but they have a face-to-face relationship with the homeless people. They have a face-to-face relationship with the struggles of people, so they know exactly what people need, what people want, uh, and and so but they're very limited in their ability to mobilize support outside of the small circles that they have. They have an inability to 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 distribute person power in different areas in the community to help the homeless and all of these things. So if they were part of the United Front, for instance, that had a more powerful organizations that were dealing nationally or on a regional level with real estate interests who are squandering tax dollars on unaffordable real estate that people and working people can't access because they don't have the necessary money, etc. Well, that type of larger organization with a broader objective and strategy can see how supporting the smaller organization that has a face-to-face relationship with the homeless people on the streets, in the subway stations and in the bus stations, how these people efforts can be amplified, can be used, and the product of their struggle in terms of getting real estate and affordable housing can then go to people who really need it. So both struggles can complement each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's in an alliance. Now that even goes across class interests, because some classes might have a tactical interest at a certain particular point in time, because they represent, let's say, they're educated, and they represent grassroots and public school educators. Okay, now we know the problems in public schooling and taxpayer dollars, how they're being misused. We know all of those problems that'll come up in that situation, right? Uh, uh, but they have the allegiance of, say, hundreds and hundreds of teachers in certain urban areas that believe that they fight for them. They fight for legislation for them, for reforms for them, right? And then you might have another program. You might have a program. Let's say you got the New African Black Panther Party in the community that's working with young people that are in the streets trying to get access to certain types of programs for uh, for those who have limited schools. Let's just say they're working on doing liberation schools in the community, or and they're giving out free types of materials and books to these young kids and trying to educate them. Albeit they're trying to do it because they're revolutionaries and because they believe that that socialism, that we should take what we have in order to get what we want. So they're grassroots. Okay. So do you think that it wouldn't be benefit to that smaller organization to have access to the larger a group or organization that had organized teachers in the schools that were dealing with troubled children and all of these things. You see, so one would benefit from the other. You see, and so alliances are like that. They're on principle. That doesn't stop you from doing the work that you're doing. It should amplify it. It should magnify it until the point where we should be able, as a united front, to call the shots in certain areas. We should be able to shut down entire regions and cities with our relationships with working people, with poor people, with people in different professions who are not being treated correctly. So we should be able to exercise ourselves as a political force that can be reckoned with.